I'd like to welcome everybody to HBCU Coaches Corner. I'm your host, Rocky Miller. And, you know, we usually have our trusty sidekick by Mr. Stephen Campbell. He's going to be late. He's probably handling some FAMU business as he always is. But with no further ado, I do have our featured host. The reason why this is called the HBCU Coaches Corner, none other than the SWAC legend himself, Johnnie Cole.
What's up, Coach, man? You know, another Tuesday rolling around and good things are happening. And, you know, our guest on tonight is one that I follow his career, and he kind of came behind me as a coach, as a player at Tennessee State. You know, the year that I left, he came in after that. And that's why I got this sign up. It's the Hobo offense, high operated, big play offense. And he actually played under it. Once I left, they kept the system in place, man. And he put up some numbers, Coach. He put the numbers up. You know, I had a 3,000-yard passer. He came in and went for 3,100 and something. So he ended up breaking one of the records that we had there at Tennessee State. But he's went on to, you know, be an outstanding coach, and also as a quarterback coach from Alabama State to Hampton to Virginia, and now he's the head coach of one of the XFL teams. Rightfully so. He has his own private training as well, and we'll get into that as well. I would like to welcome and bring on DC Defender head coach Shannon Harris. Well, Coach, I'd like to thank you, man. I know you guys are right at the tail end of your season. You just came off of one of those games that you could give away because you guys had clinched the playoff in Game 8. So in Game 9, you guys kind of tried to find some players because you know you already have clinched the playoff berth. And I want to thank you for taking your time out to come out, man. I've watched your career, and I've seen your ups and your downs, which ain't been long. Even your downs were good. I think at one time you was the interim coach at Virginia State, trying to see what's going on after you came out with Coach Reggie Barlow, and boom, you jumped into the XFL, and boom, you a head coach, man. I mean, you've been moving so much, Coach. Look forward to us talking to you and letting the fan base get to know that we do from HBCU school have a professional head football coach.
Yeah, hey, I appreciate it, Coach, and definitely appreciate the opportunity to get on with you guys, man. And like you said, yeah, the career path has been pretty long, and it's been an enjoyable career throughout my coaching career. And now, having the opportunity to be behind Coach Barlow and falling into being the head coach with DC right now in the UFL has been amazing for sure. And like you said too, with once we clinched the playoffs, we had a plan going into week 9 that we wanted to get some guys out there to be able to see what they can do, including our backup quarterback. We wanted to get him a lot of reps. He'll start this weekend as well, and get some more time out there because you never know when you may need him. And rest up Jordan Tamu, our starter. So try to protect him a little bit as well. All these guys have been banged up. You know how it is, man. It's a long season, and then especially in pro ball, you have there's a lot of hitting and going on like that. So these guys get after a good bit, but outside of that, man, defensive side of the ball, we want to rest some guys as well this week, and then and a few more of the guys that we have on offense. So put those guys out there, let them see what they can do, show their stuff, and create some more value for themselves.
I know we don't have you long, Coach, but I got to go back because the show, yeah, it's about you being the head coaches, but I got to take you back. That's why I put my You know that up there, don't you, Coach?
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
And man, I heard, during the time, of course, we left and then we came back and actually played you guys. Man, you done a hell of a job at Tennessee State as a quarterback. Kind of tell us that. How did you get there? And of course, you went on and broke Leon's record in one season. Well, seasonal record.
Yeah, I tell you, the time that when you guys was there, I followed you all, and then when the opportunity came for me to come to Tennessee State, Coach Reese made the phone call and reached out to me, and he and I we still talk all the time. I actually trained his youngest son at quarterback when he was a little eighth grader and started him up. So, but yeah, I tell you, when I first got there, man. Leon Murray helped me out a ton with knowing that offense and just kind of broke it down on how I need to learn it and not try to just, read the whole entire playbook throughout. And, once he kind of showed me that part of it, man, everything else took off from there. And, Jimmy, I was just with him yesterday. He's here at TCU. So, and Fort Worth just right down the road. But, man, like guys like himself and, Kenton Evans and them guys, they kind of taught me how to go through that playbook, man, because it was a pretty big playbook. And so, they helped me out a ton, and everything else just came from there.
Yeah. I mean, you really done a super job there, man. And, on the off season, tell us, don't you have a quarterback school or kind of tell us about that? And if some people wanted to even bring their kids, and then we'll talk about, because I don't know if people understand the XFL, which we'll get into a little more, but you are right now in Arlington, Texas, right?
That's correct. Yeah, we're based here in Arlington. Of course, it's the spring league, and we're kind of that umbrella of guys, getting back into the NFL. So a lot of our players from every team, have all played some sort in the NFL at some point. From first round draft pick all the way to undrafted free agents. So we have a lot of good talent on all of our teams. So. It's great to work with those guys and help them continue to create value for themselves to get back into the NFL. And that was the thing that we do here in Arlington. And, of course, our team is in DC, but all our base camp is right here in Arlington. But yeah, in the DFW area during the off season for us, which is the summer right now, getting ready to come up. And then, of course, throughout the entire fall when everyone else playing. But yeah, I do a training. I do that throughout the time that I have free time to where give guys opportunity to get better. And so that's been fun to do that. And I mean, typically I don't work with little kids, but if someone need help and that's their call and their passion that they a parent want their kid to do, I don't mind working with them. But a lot of times the kids I work with are high school kids and college guys. So they come out in the DFW area and we get some good work, and we try to make sure we develop them the right way.
Now, how would they catch you on that? You got a email or something that they that we probably can, I don't know, can you put it up while we're going through this?
Yeah, if he gets the email, gives me. Is it your email that I emailed you, Coach Harrison?
Yep, the email address there, and then also on Instagram. You can just pull me up on Instagram at Coach Harris _9. I want to say at Coach Harris _9. You can catch me on Instagram as well.
Yeah, Coach. Again, I continue to say that I kind of followed your career. We all got a mentor, and I know you got one too in the Coach Kais. Tell us, how you guys came together, and you guys have worked together, and you've won a lot of football games.
Yeah, Coach and I have been together for, man, it's been a while now that we've worked together, and it started way back in 2006, and we got an opportunity to work with back at Tennessee State. Actually, when I was in my first job was in 2004, when Reese gave me an opportunity to come back and be a coach. But Coach Kais came and with James Webster, and so that's when we first got our started working together in 2006. And we, like you said, we've won a lot of games together, all the stops we've been, and at Tennessee State, at Hampton, at Alabama State, as well at Alcorn State as well. And so we've won a lot of games at all of our stops, and even here in the UFL, in the XFL. So we've had a pretty good career path throughout the course of it, man. And we ain't stopping yet, so we're gonna keep going forward.
Y'all doing excellent. Kind of explain to the audience how the XFL particularly works, because you coach a team on the East Coast, but you're located in Arlington.
Yeah, so yeah, when the league first started back, I mean, with the XFL in 23, that's when, with The Rock and with Danny Garcia, and they're still heavily involved. But when it first started out in 23, and their whole main goal was to have everyone in one location. And now that everyone can get the same nutrition, the same strength and conditioning, the same training staff, just all that stuff. So now no one will miss out on something. And throughout that time since 2023 in the spring, we've kind of kept it the same way. And it's worked out for the league itself. And then we merged last season with the USFL and the XFL now, and just made it the UFL. So we're in our second season with that. And so it's been nothing but fun to be able to work with the guys and work against some guys that you've looked up to throughout their coaching career. And now to have that opportunity to compete against these guys has been nothing but awesome.
Yeah. So all 8 teams are actually in Arlington. And
all 8 teams are here. Yep. All 8 teams are here. We have our headquarters here, the UFL headquarters. And, of course, we kind of disperse and have our own practice places, but we'll fly out of here. Our last regular season game will be Friday. So we'll leave out of here, fly out of here Thursday, head to DC. And we have a great, passionate fan base in DC. And we play all of our home games at Audis Field in DC, which is also the soccer stadium there for the United. So we have a great following there. And these guys they're so passionate, and we're excited to be there in DC.
I got to ask one question. I'm gonna turn it over to my partners here. Did you throw 7 touchdowns against Jackson State?
I did, man. Actually 8. They just threw a penalty on one of them. So yeah, one of them did count, but
I'm jealous of all that. Me and Leon, we were putting it together, but boy, when I seen your stats, I'm gonna have to call Reese tonight. I'm gonna say, man, y'all need to give me my playbook back.
Hey, the playbook work, man. I tell you, it's a fun offense to play underneath and play in, and at the same time, it's quarterback friendly, and you can definitely put up some numbers in that offense, man. And so I was blessed to be a part of it.
Yeah, well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Coach, I didn't quite hear how many touchdowns you threw on Jackson State. Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, let me say something about that too. The first play of that game, I threw an interception. The first play. So, and came back and threw 7 touchdowns that counted, but threw 8 touchdowns against those guys, man. But that one, I guess it was the official felt sorry or something, it had pity on them, man. But yeah, a fun game. I'm from Mississippi as well, so
that's a little get back, huh?
Yeah, that's one game, man. I tell you, that's always fun to play against with Jackson State, and just knowing that history, playing in that in the Southern Heritage, game in Memphis, and that's always been a fun game, man. There, hopefully they can get that back.
Well, look, I ain't gonna take nothing away. That was the down Jackson State, but it's okay.
You mean Jackson State was down at one point? I don't. You don't ever hear anything about that.
Those guys are loaded then, man. You talking about NFL talent all across the field, on both sides of the ball. That was a loaded team, man. So they were pretty good.
Looks like you lit them up like a Christmas tree, though, Coach.
Yeah, a lot of. Yeah. It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun.
Now, Coach, you about to embark on. Your team is in the playoffs, and essentially you're gonna have the opportunity to play for a championship, right?
That's right.
I also, looking at your coaching pedigree, that you were at Alcorn in the mid-teens, 2000 teens. Were you able to be on or coach on a team that won a championship in the SWAC during that time?
I'm sorry. What was the last part again?
Were you able to coach on one of those Alcorn teams that won a SWAC championship?
Yeah. I actually that last year with Jay Hobson, he brought us on board, Kais and I, and Kais was the offensive coordinator, and I came in. I actually coached the receivers those 3 years. So yeah, we won the championship, I want to say in 15, and then 16, 17, we played for the championship and lost to Grambling. So but yeah, we was part of that that championship with them in 2015 after they won it in 2014 as well.
Hey, I also want to ask you this, Coach. Um, we had Reggie Barlow on earlier this year after he was hired as Tennessee State's head coach.
Hmm.
Coincidentally, that's kind of how you were promoted to interim head coach at the DC Defenders, because he was the head coach.
That's right.
And I just wanted to, ask you officially on the air. Is there any plans or has there been any arrangements made for you to reunite with Coach Barlow at Tennessee State?
Yeah, that has been the plan to do that with Coach Barlow. That was the plan when he took the job there as well. And man, I love working with Coach Barlow and for him, and a great guy to work with and for. And so we've talked about it from day one as that been the plan. So we'll see the next 2 games or next 3 games. Hopefully, we get to the championship and all that, and then see how everything else go from there.
And that's what I was also going to ask. Provided you win the UFL championship, and could that change the fate of you potentially joining Coach Barlow at Tennessee State?
You never know what it may create. For us, man, we just try to take it week by week. And then anything else that happened after that, man, it's a bonus, and we just let the chips lay where they may from that standpoint. But like I talked to Coach, throughout the course of our season so far, like I'm still on deck. So we'll see how things go from there.
And also doing some research on you, Coach. You're what many would consider a quarterback guru, right?
Hmm.
Why is it? And this is a much broader question. Why is it when we talk about quarterback gurus and guys who master in teaching the quarterback position, why don't as many black guys who coach the position are looked at or put on platforms to let people know that there are black coaches who also are quarterback gurus, quarterback whisperers, and know how to develop a quarterback? 'Cause there's several black quarterbacks, quarterback whisperers or quarterback developers that are out there, but for
Hmm.
whatever reason, when you think of a quarterback guru, none of you guys are put on a pedestal or platform to be thought of in that category. Though you have the performance, I look at Jordan Temu, what he's been able to do in the UFL as just, his improvement has been sensational since he's been under your tutelage. Why isn't black coaches put on that same level with other black quarterback developers and whispers?
Yeah, that's a great question. Loaded question for sure. And I tell you, the one thing about it, man, sometimes you try to create stories and tell the story, right? But at the same time, we just try to always, I know for me, I just try to let my work and what guys do throughout the course of their career and playing and thing like that throughout the season, let their work and, their stats and all that stuff, tell who I am as a coach, as a teacher. As I say, I like to be called as a teacher, not so much as a coach, because we always teaching these guys on how to be that great quarterback. And the other part of it is based off the wins and losses. You know what I mean? Guys who's winners and things like that. So throughout the course of my career of coaching quarterbacks, I've done it. I've been blessed to work with some really good guys and have that opportunity to guys have won a lot, underneath of me teaching them. So I don't know, man, why you get sometimes or oftentimes we don't get the recognition from that standpoint. But to your point, to the point you said, there's a lot of great coaches out there, man. Specifically black quarterback coaches out there that have done a really good job, you know. And I know for me, like I don't get caught up into over coaching guys or over teaching guys the position. You know, I try to build them from the ground up, but I don't want to go through too many technical things with these guys and make them robots. I don't want them thinking about all the mechanical things like that. I just want to make sure, you know, their lower half, their platform is right where it needs to be. And then, you know, as you throw, as you get older, like if I'm taking a high school kid or a college kid, as you get older, as you get continue to develop in what I'm teaching, as you get stronger in the weight room and things like that, everything else will take care of itself, you know. So I just try to make sure that those fundamentals are always intact when I'm coaching the quarterbacks.
Camel, if you like to answer
Yeah,
a question, go ahead.
Coach, first of all, thank you for joining us. But I'm going to say something, y'all. Now, listen, this man is special. And y'all don't know. Now, Coach, let me ask you a question. Are
Yes,
you
sir.
from Wiggins, Mississippi?
That I am. Yeah.
Now, listen. Now, you're from Wiggins. Now, I know that town very well. Do you know any
Okay.
Brelands down there in Wiggins, Mississippi?
A ton of them.
Now, Coach, I want you to say that one more time. Do you know any
of 'em.
Brelands down there in Wiggins, Mississippi?
Yes, sir. A ton.
I am related to all of them.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So when I saw that, and I said, now, Coach, now listen, my granddaddy and all them Brelands are all Jack State folks. That's a Jack State town. How did you end up from all them Brelands that you probably went to school with, probably dated one or two of them, probably one of your best friends, and all of them went to Jack State? How did you end up in Tennessee State to play football?
Man, you know, I ended up, well, let me say this.
He wanted to go to a winner, man.
That's right. So you know, everyone in my family went to Alcorn. So but yeah, man, you know, going to that game all the time at the end of that season, Alcorn versus Jackson State, right? So I mean, just the knowing of Jackson State and you know, my brother and all those guys played at Alcorn. So I mean, it's just the passionate fans at Jackson, man, at both schools at Alcorn. And you know, I wanted to go to a school to where I had to play at least one of them. So
Okay.
and Tennessee State offered me that opportunity.
Well, I totally understand. Well, first of all, I know automatically. So I'm going to call my cousins down there because they're going to be excited because, like, one thing about them folks in Wiggins, they all stick together. And I'll tell
That's
people
right.
that by going down there, it is one of the most amazing cities of the level of educated Black people that are in that city.
Yeah.
That's small. But everybody, and Coach, listen, when I say, and Coach know, and this probably with his family too, they start off as preachers and teachers and end up as doctors, lawyers, and coaches. So that's what's so amazing about Wiggins. And, you know, I'm proud that to know that, like I say, I'm super excited when I saw that you're from Wiggins because I know how great people are. Like I said, I'm Brelands, like I say, that's my family's lineage and everything. So I'm related to all of them down there. So that is
it's a ton. It's a ton for sure.
I tell you one thing, Coach, one quick story. My grandmother, who was married to my grandfather, he's a Breland. So we went down there to go visit his grave. So I was in college at Florida A&M. So, you know, you come down 49 and then you get off in the other highway to get down to Wiggins. So we pull up and, you know, I hadn't been to Wiggins since maybe I was young, but I kind of remember that back road because my Aunt Rosie stayed back in the backwoods.
Okay.
And there was this white guy. And I said, we're looking for the Breland land. And the white guy said, the colors or the white? I said, well, hold on. Wait a minute. My grandma jumped out there. So I said, wait a minute, bro. We might do that down here. So, so what I'm saying is just how strong the fight of the people down there. So I want to say that. Now, Coach, one of the things that doing the research and things, now I'm going to pull something up because one of the things, now, Coach, you know you went viral, right? You know you went viral. Did you know this, that you went viral?
Yeah, I think from that first game, right?
So listen, guys, let me tell you something. See, when you come from Wiggins, Mississippi, you let people know exactly who you are. So, Coach, I'm going to pull up something. I'm going to need you to give a play-by-play on what happened right here. Let me pull this up. You guys,
I thought you were going to surprise him, Cameron, and tell him you was his uncle. You know what I mean?
Oh, you great start some shit.
Can you guys, is that Rock, is that Sharon?
Yeah, it is.
Is
Okay. All right. So, Coach, you were playing Skip Holtz's team. Who's Coach Holtz coach?
Who was his coach?
Yeah, who's Coach Holtz? What team does he coach?
Birmingham.
Birmingham.
So
Yeah.
apparently that you all had met at a previous time, and this is what Coach had to let him know. So, Coach, hold on one second. Wait a minute.
Good job, Coach.
Shannon Harris.
Run that back. Hold on.
What?
Head coach.
Good job, Coach.
Shannon Harris.
You told me at the headquarters. You told me I was a doorman at the headquarters. No. I told you. You told me I was a doorman. No, sir. You told me I was a doorman. What? You told me I was a doorman. No, I did not.
Now, Coach, now you from Mississippi.
Yeah.
I feel every bit of that in your voice of how you want to make sure that any man is going to respect who and what you are. So, Coach, how did that come about? And just for me to see your players, how did you feel about your play, the way they felt, which I think kind of propelled going forward of who and what y'all coaching those young men and they supporting you. So kind of talk about how that happened and you being a coach and a black man, because like I said, this is HBCU Coaches Corner. We're talking to black coaches of how you wanted those young men to know to always be respected.
Yeah, I tell you, man, and we talked about it, and we've kind of done swept it all under the rug, from the league itself and how all that stuff went down. But but to your point, though, yeah, we all want to be respected, and having that first opportunity to, I mean, these guys are three-time champs, right? I mean, they've been the king of the spring. And I admire and respect everything that their organization, what it does, and even from coach for what he does with with their team. I mean, he's played three different quarterbacks throughout the course of their career there, and they won three different championships. So that was the biggest thing, and it just it hurt me for something like that to have happened at that moment because in this coaching fraternity deal, man, you always respect guys. Yeah, you competing and want to beat everybody on your schedule, but at the same time, you just want to go out there and make sure that you put a good product out there and show that you belong, right? And so, that opportunity that came up, and like how you saw it, man, it was something that happened back in the headquarters, and like I said, man, we kind of went through that spiel and we kind of done swept it under the rug and then talked about it and talked it out. So I respect those guys. Also, Mike Jones on that staff, who's a Tennessee State alum as well, who played receiver, played in the NFL quite time. He's their receiver coach. So, he and I, we talked about it as well. And,
Mike played back there when we was in school.
Yeah. So, great guy, man. Great guy. I respect him a ton. And again, I mean, I respect what those guys do over there at Birmingham still today. And it was a big win for us, an emotional win because one, it was our first one and my first one as being the head coach. So a lot of emotion came out of all that, man. So
well, yeah, Coach, and I did not bring that up. And I want to be clear on this. And this is a lot. I did not bring it up for the myth. I brought about the strength of you letting your young men that follow you to understand that we came to fight, no matter who there's across the field, and they're going to respect us. That's more what I saw, not the part, again, any of the outlandishness with people. But I respected the fact that you were going to stand your ground to let people know, hey, I'm here to coach just like you. And again, I'm pretty sure Coach Holtz is a great guy and stuff like that. But me, again, knowing where you came from, knowing your lineage and who and what you are, again, you've coached at many HBCUs, you're coaching a lot of African-American players. I appreciate the fact, and I like the fact that your players was right there with you saying, yeah, coach, we with you, coach.
Yeah, man. Of course, there's so many great coaches out there that don't get the opportunity, right? And the biggest thing was just more of just show that we belong as well, And Coach Barlow showed that as well, our first year in 2023 and us going to the championship game that year. But that's the thing. When you get opportunity, you want to make sure that you put your best foot forward at it and then just show everyone that you belong at the table.
Well, that's
Well,
awesome,
I
Coach.
want to commend you on your outfit. You put your quarterback outfit up and went shopping for your head coaching outfit. I like the outfit.
Hey, man, he was sharp when he coached.
Yes.
Well, listen, let me
He come from the cold tree,
video. And you know what? And listen,
Yeah.
Coach, I know you probably saw it. It kind of reminded me, well, again, friend of the show, Coach Robinson, when he said, "Hey, he ain't sweat. I'm sweat."
That's right. That's right.
It gave me that same energy.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, man, because man, one thing at HBCU, man, or swag or wherever it may be, you're gonna have style and swag, right? So that's the one thing that playing at Tennessee State or just even coaching in the swag, man, has taught me that you're gonna have some style and swag for sure.
Hey, Coach Harris, let me ask you this. Speaking of that, about your HBCU experience in coaching, right?
Mhm.
It seems to me that whether it be Johnnie Cole, Reggie Barlow, Shannon Harris, Willie Simmons, so many, what I would consider great coaches, they somehow, of various different reasons, they end up not being part of HBCU football at some point. How does the best coaches in Black college football end up coaching in other places, doing other things, when they have had so much success, and it somehow seems like other guys get opportunities? Can you talk about what your journey has been? Because it seems like to me, Coach, with your pedigree and the success you've had, you would have had an opportunity to be a head coach at an HBCU, but it just hadn't happened that way.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Oftentimes, it doesn't just happen that way, man. And you just gotta stay in the fight, man, and keep working at it, keep working on your craft, and then eventually, when that opportunity comes, you just be ready for it and go full task at it. But you're right. A lot of guys don't get those opportunities for whatever that reason may be. I don't know. Sometimes it's just, whatever that university, they have their own picks and who they want, and so you just got to be, continue to be prepared and, have a plan when that opportunity comes. And then you just work the plan and you just stay the course, man. You can't get frustrated, can't get upset and all of that stuff. You just got to keep working at it. With our players this year, we kind of talked about it. I showed them this video, the team, and, the video was more of like, the guy saying, I didn't get this job. And, his reaction was good, or I didn't get this promotion and the reaction was good. Or I didn't get this or get that. It's always good. Maybe I need to work at something better. Maybe I need to do something like this to create more value for myself. So, that was just my mindset as well, just knowing that, the opportunity may come. If it doesn't, I'd be okay with it. But I'm gonna continue to work and prepare and not just sit there and not prepare and be content with where I am, because my mindset was eventually it's gonna come up and I just gotta be ready for it.
Yeah. Now this opportunity with the XFL, I know it's somewhere for this overload of players to play, and I think it's great. Because they can only take so many in the NFL. Do it also help coaches as well? Have coaches left this league and moved up to the next league?
Yeah, it's been an opportunity for everyone, coaches, and like you said, the players and the coaches as well. And then, I mean, I know for us, we've had our equipment person, get opportunities back into the NFL. All our trainers have gotten opportunities to go back to the NFL. Our strength coaches have gotten opportunity to go back to the NFL or have gone to the NFL. So yeah, it's not just for the coaches itself or the players. It's for everybody that's a part of the organization. And that's what this league have done, is created value for everyone.
And keep everybody playing, keep everybody employed as well. I thought The Rock, that was one of the things The Rock always talked about, was guys that if they don't make the NFL, some of them don't have nowhere to go, until they at least can get on their feet. And, I know financial wise, I heard they had to make a lot of cuts and all that kind of stuff, but I think it's still good. Some close friends of mine, Brett Maxey, he works for I think it's what's the Houston Roughnecks.
Mm-hmm,
I think he's down there. So I think it's helped a lot of people out. Besides this opportunity that you might get to go back to your alma mater in between, you never know, what's next for Shannon Harris.
Yeah, you never know, and like you said, with the league, man, it's giving guys that opportunity. Yeah, some of it had pay cuts and things like that, but you still have opportunity to create that value for yourself. And so when these opportunities weren't there before, what you have. So now, while the resources are here, the league is here. You got to take full-fledged advantage of it, and that's me right now, to have the opportunity of being a head coach, it's continuing to work my craft now as a head coach in all aspect of my coaching game, coaching coaching career, my coaching, the way I go about handling it and all those things. So I'm just, grateful for this opportunity to be able to do that. And I tell you, man, the college game is so different now. I mean, it's hard to keep your players nowadays. With the NIL and all that stuff. So, that's a whole nother monster that has been created, and so the recruiting is totally different now. Everyone want a handout when it comes to money and things like that. So, so you have to be strategic in how you handle all those things. But, the thing that's next for me, coach, is really just stay the course where I am, try to continue to be great where I am. And then, everything else, I'll let the chips lay where they may.
Well, going back to Tennessee State, now it's a bunch of Tennessee State great quarterbacks. Do you know one of the quarterbacks was out of Mississippi? I used to watch him play.
Yeah, Joe Adams, 747.
747.
Yeah, man. He and I, we talk, often, and so and talk about other players, other places, and things like that. So he's been a great guy to get to know, and man, I love talking with him and just to hear his experience through it all. But he was a great one for sure.
Yeah, I had an opportunity when I was there to work with Joe Adams, Jefferson Street.
Yeah,
and just the things that we, the talks that we had while I was coaching, and of course, Leon came up under him, man. It's great. I mean, it's one thing about Tennessee State, and to be talking to you as well from a little kid watching Tennessee State play Central State back from the 70s to the 80s, man. You just another one of those brilliant quarterbacks that come out of Tennessee State, man. I think that's a token and something you should keep close to, dear to you. And of course, I'm still mad that you broke my record so fast, but hey, man, I wouldn't have nobody else to do it but you. And following your career, I could see why you've done the things that you have done in your career, man. And I look to see that you're gonna do some other great things too. This is just the beginning.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that, Coach. And I tell you, when I first got to Tennessee State, to your point, and I got an opportunity to get there, and the first thing I did was look in the record books and see who all had records. And I was like, man, some great quarterbacks through here. They threw for a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns. So I got some work to do, man. So that's what motivated me the most, man, to see all the great quarterbacks that come through Tennessee State. And to see the things they've done, not just at Tennessee State, but even in their career going into the next level and pro ball. So I knew I had my work cut out, and I had to go in there and just grind and keep my head down, stay away from all the distractions. So I went in there with a straight mindset, man, and stay focused and get the work done.
Yeah, let me put you on the spot for a minute. I have to put you on the spot. For some reason, since you're alumnus of Tennessee State, why they don't honor the 98-99 team?
Why don't they?
Yeah, why they don't? They don't talk about it none. I know they, Eddie George came in, he won the championship, and I had the boys put me up to it. So since you was on the spot, I might as well ask Coach here.
Yeah, me honestly, I don't know, but I will say the one thing that needs to happen is they have to be honored. And I'm gonna say this, even when I was coaching there, it's always one of those type of things to where, man, we got to get our own players back involved heavily, And so, and I mean, that's a great thing to do by getting the guys back involved is honoring those guys who have, came through there and done some great stuff. And then not only just to win championship, just think about the amount of guys that went on to the next level from those teams. I
Yeah.
mean, on both sides of the ball. So you talking about a ton of dudes, man, playing NFL ball, and not just for free agency or 1 or 2 years. These guys played many, many, many years in the NFL, and so at all positions. So yeah, I mean, I still talk to all those guys, of course, and yeah, I do believe that they need to be honored a lot more
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. We talked to Reginald, Coach Barlow about it as well, and they
Mhm.
got a group chat. The 98, 99 teams, they got a group chat that they've been talking. Man, we've been talking on this group chat for 20 years.
You're right,
You
right.
and a lot of them have had kids that go on to Boston College, Harvard,
Yep.
going on to play ball and done
Yale,
great
yeah,
things. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
with you going back there, because I got love for Tennessee State as well. I mean,
No doubt.
I got my first start as an offensive coordinator on a Division 1A level, man, and it kind of
Mhm.
It was that nepotism that got him there, though, Coach Harris. You're not gonna tell him that. His mama got him that job, and
my mother's the one told me to leave it.
Right.
But no, I just want to share that with you, because like I said, I still talk to some of the guys as well.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
they really, really feel left out because I talk about the teams in the early 80s, with Brian Ransom and Killer Brew and Richard Den and all those guys and Golden Tate.
Yep.
I know all those cats. And those cats was throwing the football when throwing the football wasn't even popular.
Yeah,
know
it
what
wasn't
I'm
a thing then. You're right. Yeah, yeah. I still talk with BR every once in a while as well. Along with 747. Of course, Mike. We are here in the league together. So, yeah, man. So many guys have come through there, man. A plethora of dudes, man. The list go on and on. Of course, like along with some of the other HBCUs and the SWAC and everything like that. So, yeah. All
But
those
you
guys, man, we got to
you
honor
holding the
them.
record, baby. You got the seasonal. You got the seasonal record in
No, let me
touchdowns
tell you this.
and
In touchdown, but let me tell you this. So the quarterback that I had, the kid that I had in 2019 ended up breaking my record, the quarterback that I had then when I was the offensive coordinator there. Yeah.
wow.
So look, I said if anybody gonna break it, I need them to be a guy who I'm coaching.
hey, Coach Harris, you've been very gracious. You committed to 30 minutes. You've been on here about 40, Coach. I want to thank you for and be respectful of your time and everything, man. I know you're in the middle of a championship run with the UFL. I know who I'll be rooting for in the playoffs, even though that DC name, being a Cowboy fan, really hurts me to even say. I'm sure
They're
you
gonna
get
be
a lot
tough,
of
man.
that.
Yeah. The Commanders gonna be tough, man. They're tough dudes, man. I tell you, Jaden James done really done some great things there. But Cowboys done made some. They done signed some good players, so give Dak and the other guys some toys to play with out there too. So, yeah.
Now, are y'all opening up at home? Do y'all play at home the next 2 weeks? Any home game?
No, well, we play at home this weekend, and be Friday night on Fox. It's 8 p.m. Eastern game, so 7 Central, and then the playoffs start June 8th. And
But y'all play out in DC. I keep forgetting. I'm thinking
yeah, we play out.
I'm gonna be in Texas this week.
Yeah. So first playoff game will be at St. Louis against St. Louis. Yep.
That'll be interesting, Coach. And when y'all win that game, you'll be playing for it all. And that's 2 weeks later, Coach?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, they already got the
Where do they play that championship game at, Coach?
It'll be at St. Louis as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's the semifinals and then it's the finals.
Then the finals. That's correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Coach, man. Appreciate you. Tell all the coaches, all the guys I work with, man, good luck this week. I know you guys are winners. I know you'll get it done, or at least be prepared to get it done.
That's right. Yep. And I really appreciate you all having me on, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. Hey, you never disappoint, man, Coach. You know all the winners, Coach. You know all the winners.
Man,
which brings me to a point to this and I'll ask Campbell this. I'm not gonna even ask a HBCU coach because I know his answer is gonna be biased, Coach. How do we let guys like impressive guys like Shannon Harris escape the HBCU fold, Coach?
Well, let's be honest. Life is about opportunities. And Coach knows this. There are only so many opportunities. And when you guys, and I hate that, I wanted to get, because Coach Harris did one thing that I thought was amazing. He did what coaches like Coach Cole tell all his players: make the most of your opportunity. This coach got his degree, went and became an intern in the Tennessee Titans, doing film study, starting at the bottom, moving up to his next school, doing the same thing, moving up, building his craft. And now look at him, he's a head coach. That is something all of our players can point to. That's something that they can do. Now, everybody can't be Walter Payton and Jerry Rice, but people can be Coach Harris. And that's the thing about, but I think honestly, it has a lot to do about opportunity. It has a lot to do, again, coaches know coaches. Like I say, he just said it. I'm assuming that he said, hey, that I won't be with the family. I'm going to go down there with Coach Barlow at Tennessee State. Well, why is that? Because he has a relationship. So a lot of this has to do with relationships also. So I think, again, what we have to do is have ADs. See, what I would do if I'm an AD and I'm watching this interview, he's going to be on my short list. So if I don't like the coach I got, or I know I need a coach, I'm going to interview this guy. Because to me, he's young, he's smart. And like I say, and again, and I wanted to be very honest about him. I didn't show it to be messy because that's not my thing. What I showed was the passion of his players that rallied behind him. And also, again, hey, man, this man from Wigan, Mississippi, you ain't going to call me no dough man, bro. That ain't happening. Yeah. So I think that really rocking, honestly, that's what it has a lot to do with and things like that. But I'm just excited because he's going to be a head coach on the HBCU school very soon. No doubt about it.
Well, and the reason why, because when I first started being part of the HBCU fan base, one of the things one of the conversations that happened very early on the off-script channel was recycling the coaches and how much the fan base didn't appreciate that. Well, I'm learning now, Coach, that recycling coaches ended up being a choice that administrators made because there is a deep talent pool, or there has been a deep talent pool in HBCU coaching, right? However, they've just chosen or chose to hire guys with head coaching experience rather than giving a guy with not much experience or a guy who's been an assistant or a coordinator an opportunity.
Hey, Roger, let me ask you this question. I don't mean to cut you off, but do you think it's recycled now when you look at all the coaches?
No.
Yeah, you can't say that now, can you?
No. The recycling question lasted about 2 years.
and look at the talent level. It's because those kids like Harris, who have been behind good coaches, he's at Tennessee State, he's been at Alabama State, he's been at Hampton. Alcorn championship. He knows what it looks like. When you are guys with no experience, man, it's you're asking to lose, and it's nowhere it's been successful at. Besides probably, of course, everybody would say Dion, but he was around and he was around and he had the experience and the smartness to hire a bunch of great coaches around it.
Well, Coach, as we talk about this, my question would be is this. Let's take Dion out of the equation because I think Dion had a specific skill set and access to resources that most coaches aren't going to come in with. So I
agree, totally agree.
Yeah, so let's take him out of the mix. Let's take a regular coach, right? And there's been several regular coaching hires, right? And I'll go back to two that when the recycling conversation happened, it happened around hiring guys like Eric Dooley. at Southern. When Southern was struggling, you took Eric Dooley, who wasn't a championship head coach, but he had been on some championships, right? And he gets the Southern job, right? Unfortunately for him, that didn't work out. But a lot of people in the HBCU space predicted that it wouldn't work out. You know, even though that's who the fan base wanted. That's one of the ones that the fan base made it. Wouldn't you agree, Campbell, that the fan base made that choice of Eric Dooley and it didn't work out? It really wasn't.
Yeah, because in their mind, he was somebody. He was a local home. Well, he wasn't from Baton Rouge, New Orleans, but you know, somebody that they knew and things like that. And listen, hold on, let's be okay. In fairness to Coach Dooley, because I know he gets a lot of hell. He was the offensive coordinator on 2 SWAC championship teams. Moved over to Prairie View. They won the West, so his resume was not like it was empty. Okay, let's be honest.
No, but he was still building at Prairie View. He already had a job, Coach. My point is he already had a job, right? And he hadn't done anything transformational as a head coach, right? To where he had to have a blue blood job. You understand? Blue blood program. That's all I was saying.
But that's what kind of happens. You listen. You buy low and sell high. So it's the trend thing. You know what I mean? So he was trending in the right direction. Again, 2-time SWAC champion at Grambling. Celebration Bowl winner, Prairie View that is also ran and gotten them to the chance. Southern's like, well, shit, if he could do this with Prairie View, he definitely, with all the assets that we have in the Southern University, we should be able to be the same thing. And then let's keep it a buck, he took Southern to the SWAC championship. So, I mean, you know, again, when you kind of look at it, if you just did a blind taste test and look at it, his 5-year run between Grambling and all the way that he just had one bad season.
Let me say this. One of our guests said it best. Chennisberry, Tremaine Jackson, Sam Shade, to me, that should be what I'm looking for. You know, guys that have started off and been successful and moved up. You know, if he even started from high school or started from assistant coach and moved to a coordinator's job, those are guys that blueprint is a great blueprint to have. And you see their success. You know, they've seen success. See, it's one thing, guys, that as a fan, and you sitting back and you in the stands and you watching, oh, man, those are big old guys. You know what I mean? Or I've seen guys that even came up underneath my tree that I didn't think was ready to be a head coach, took some head coaching jobs and weren't successful because they get in the habit of trying to match every team they see to the team that won championships. You know, it's a flavor. It's some positions that you see that you have that you really know that you've came to fruition of. Now, this is the team. This is the team going to take us. And you can see the progress. You know what I mean? You can see the progress. Like when we first went at Alabama State, man, we had nobody there the first year for summer workout until we had to get rid of the concert and start bringing in guys that knew how to win. And you went from having little bitty guys in summer to damn near your whole team in summer school. But they were there to get better. So instead of us coming into the fall trying to get in shape, we just came into the fall, you know, in shape and ready to go so we can move further and faster in our playbook.
Well, it's something you said about Tremaine in one of the conversations that we had offline, Coach, when he was being considered for a number of jobs around HBCU football. You said that one thing you knew Coach Jackson knew. He knew the formula. He knew the ingredients of building a winner, right? And because he knew the ingredients, that gave him a leg up on a lot of guys that are currently coaching in the SWAC because he's seen it. He knows what it looks like. He's seen it put together. Coach, but I'll say this. It's how do you tell a guy who knows what the ingredients are versus a guy who knows how to cook it? You know what I mean? Those are two totally different things, Coach.
Exactly. That's why I said there's some guys that came out underneath me and my brother's tree that went as head coaches and stunk it up. Because some of the things that we value on putting together a football team, some coaches don't value. You know, some coaches don't value. I don't like flip-flops. I like your pants on your hip. I like for the kids to be shaved. Some coaches don't value that. We've had that on this show, huh, Bishop? Man, Coach, you tell me he can't wear no braids, dreads. Shit, man, you know, hey, I don't know. It worked for me. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere I've been. But some coaches don't value that. Some coaches think, hey, let the players be who they want to be.
Well, Coach, you know in defense of you, because I don't want this. Here's what I would say, though. But I think, again, if somebody gave you a coaching job, I think that you would understand, because there's a difference between looking sloppy and any haircut being neat, right? That's right. I think you would also evolve with the culture, because honestly, you would have to. So I think you would be able to have, because you can be disciplined and a kid can have dreads. You know what I'm saying? And the kid could be a 4.0 student and be a leader on a team. So I want to give you credit. I don't want people to think that Cole would be like, you got to wear a high top fade, you know what I mean? Skin high, high and tight, and only way to win. So I want to give you
no.
Yeah, because I think people misquote. I think what people do, they misquote. They miss the underlying quote. It's about the discipline that you're looking for, about being uniform, about showing up on time, about properly dressed. You know what I mean? People ran with the hair thing, not understanding it was more of an overall thing. And I want to be clear on that because listen, we in this new, and every time you come on here, you're interviewing. I want people to understand that if somebody see you, that you can still coach. So I just want to clear that up.
Oh, shoot. Well, Coach, man, I mean, it's in my blood. Hell, I like tell people I had a ball in my hand before I even knew my name. So, you know, and it wasn't because of me. It's because I came behind eight fabulous men. So I appreciate that. But
hey, Coach Cole, I'm gonna set up. We set up to get out of here a little early, but I'm gonna open up the phone lines in case anybody want to call and have a comment, anything that was said or heard today. Before we get out of here,
I do want to bring up one thing.
Go ahead.
And I don't know, Coach, you might have missed this. So we had a little bit of an issue on social media and about fake news. And I'm going to pull this up because I think what our show does is give a lot of information. So I'm going to share my screen again and show you a tweet that was talking about my AD. Did that come up?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, wait a minute. I wonder. Oh, there we go. All right. So, Coach, this particular Twitter platform called HBCU Premier Sports, they put this out yesterday morning. HBCU Premier Sports will be dropping the disturbing news this evening out of Florida A&M athletics. Sometimes you can't sweep things under the rug, and some things need to be reported. Now, Coach, we didn't know what the hell was going on. We didn't know if we had a violation. We didn't know if somebody.
My name is JM&E, and I want $500 for lunch for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.